Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tiernan Center as we bring you high school basketball here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. It is game 2 of the opening night of the sectional tournament. One game is in the books. New Pal advancing by beating Greenfield Central, that final 60-45. In our second quarterfinal game tonight, it's Pendleton Heights coming into this one at 7-16. They've lost 5 in a row and 6 out of their last 7. The Red Devils entering tonight's contest after winning their last 2 games of the regular season, hoping to keep the streak alive here tonight. Great to have you with us. Brendan Evans is downstairs. He'll keep an eye on things as a sideline reporter tonight. We've moved him downstairs. And Brendan, it appears it's going to be a good one. I don't think Richmond really wants to look past this Pendleton Heights basketball team despite them losing 5 in a row. They've got size, they can defend, and it could be a pretty good ball game if Richmond's not ready to play.
Right, and Troy, we saw last Thursday Richmond really struggled. I think they really looked past the team they played, and we saw how that went. They really didn't play to the expectation they really should have, and I don't think they're going to do that again tonight. I think Coach kind of put something in them, said, hey, this is what happened. This is why we didn't play where we needed to at the level that everyone was expecting, and I don't think they're going to do it again.
Yeah, that was maybe the most concerning part about that last game of the season against a team that really a Franklin County team you think they would have blown out. And you heard the coach afterwards. He was not happy with their performance. In fact, he pretty much said other than Andrew, everybody else didn't play well.
Right, and they just really all got to step it up. And we talked a couple weeks ago and really over the past few games, they can't have just 1 or 2 people really producing points. They got to spread it out across the court. It can't just be Andrew. It can't just be Lucas. It's got to be all 5 guys on the court, at least 4 out of 5. 5 guys would be nice, but let's be honest, that's not the case every time.
I'll tell you what, you stand by. We'll come back to you in a couple of moments for keys to tonight's game, as he will be our sideline reporter throughout the night tonight. Tell you what we'll do when we come back in a moment. We're going to take a look at this Pendleton basketball team. That's coming up next right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
They're the 3 sweetest words a sports fan can utter.
I was there.
Like when Luke Zeller drained that miracle buzzer beater from center court to win the state championship.
I was there.
Indiana high school basketball. There's only one way to experience the passion, the intensity, the surges in momentum, the shots heard round the state, and the shots made from way, way, way downtown.
Luke Zeller at midcourt. Puts it up at the buzzer.
And that's to be there, live. The IHSAA Boys Basketball Tournament. When the whistle blows, the drama unfolds. And we're reminded one more time what a great state we live in. Where will you be?
I'll be there. We'll all be there.
The IHSAA Boys Basketball Tournament. Sectionals continue this weekend in Indiana high school gyms everywhere. The IHSAA Boys and Girls Basketball Tournaments are presented by the Indiana Pacers and the Indiana Fever.
We are back here at the Tiernan Center. Game 2. New Pal looked really good against Greenfield Central in their 60-45 win. Coming up on Friday night in that first game, it's Connorsville and New Pal. And now we await the winner of this one, Pendleton and Richmond. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Arabians. As we said, they lost their last 5 games. And really in those 5 games, they had only maybe, one close game. They lost to Shelbyville 67-58. They were beaten by Muncie Central 74-47. They played pretty well at Fishers, losing that one 55-48. They were pounded at Newcastle and then lost to a very athletic North Central team 75-56. They don't score a ton of points, only 53 points per game, and they also give up 57 per game as well. The last time these two teams got together back in the 2013-14 season, in which Richmond won in sectional play 63-44. Let's take a look at the leading scores in this one. Keep an eye on Damian Warm. Warm averaging 13 points and 5.7 points per game. He has size at 6'6". He is a senior. Christian Jones is averaging 10.1 points per game, a 6-foot guard. Tristan Ross, 9.6 points and 6.5 rebounds. They will definitely have a size advantage. Tristan Ross, 6'5", and a junior. Then Davrick Black at 8 points per game and 3.9 rebounds. Black, a 5'9" sophomore guard. Those are the players to watch tonight, again, for the Arabians. And, boy, their last game, as we mentioned, against North Central, it certainly was a game that they felt they could win against a Panthers basketball team, but there were 3 players in double figures for North Central, and in that game, the Arabians just never really got back on track, ended up losing that contest in the final game of the season. So quick look at the Arabians. When we come back in a couple of moments, we will have the starting lineups as we're just a few moments away from the tip-off here tonight. If we get some other scores from around sectional play, in fact, they're pouring in on Twitter as we speak. I do believe that Northeastern ended up blowing out Hagerstown in their earlier contest, so the Knights continue to roll in their contest. And again, if we get other games, we will definitely pass those along. If not now, we will have a complete scoreboard coming up later tonight and all the scores tomorrow on our sports page on RadioTroy.com. Stay right there. We will come back. More from the Tiernan Center. It is Game 2. The Arabians and the Red Devils right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Greatest thing ever happened for Oscar Robertson. You learn to compete.
Basketball in Indiana has a special legacy. It starts with the coaches, develops with the fans, and ends with an amazing community support.
I think one of these days when you're done and you're retired and you kind of shelve that piece of your life, you can look back and be like, wow, that's really incredible.
To play in a state tournament, to be able to play in college, to be able to coach high school girls, and then to be able to see my son coach, basketball has been my life.
Any opportunity I got to play basketball, I played it. You know, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I love doing, and still today I love the game.
And every time Dad put me in, I think as a freshman, sophomore, there was booing. And then the exciting turnaround when I was a junior and senior, every time he took me out, he got booed. So those were fun times.
Basketball got me an education. Got me to be a worldly person as far as reading articles. Got me to be artistic and understand the cultures of the world, the ballet, the opera. It just opened up your whole mind and thoughts about things other than what you can reach out and touch.
Because I never dreamed of going to college, and basketball gave me the opportunity to not only go to college but play professional ball, and I've been around it my whole life. I'm 58 now, and I've been involved for a lot of years.
Where else can you walk around? I'm a 65-year-old man, and people say, George, oh, I remember you in '69 with your high school state championship team. I saw you at Butler. I mean, it's incredible. This is the only place here in Indiana that happens.
Okay, listen up. What's the one thing Hoosiers like more than race cars? More than tenderloin sandwiches? I'll tell you, basketball. But not just any brand of basketball. I'm talking about the IHSAA. I'm talking about Indiana high school basketball. This right here is pure basketball. No theatrics, no gimmicks, no hot shots. This is a fundamentals first, team-based, hustle and get after it brand of hoops. This is real deal basketball for real deal basketball fans like you. This is your chance to see the greatest game ever played in its purest form. The IHSAA boys basketball sectionals continue this weekend in gyms across the state. Tickets are only $6. The chance to experience Hoosier hysteria live and in person only comes once a year. Don't miss it. The IHSAA boys basketball tournament is proudly presented by the Indiana Pacers and the Indiana Fever.
Back at the Tiernan Center, we're just a few moments away from the tip-off here tonight of game number 2. If you're just joining us, game 1 goes to New Pal, 60-59. 45, the Dragons advance to the semifinals. Coming up on Friday night, they'll play Connorsville. That'll be a great matchup in that opening game on Friday night. It's going to give you the starting lineups. Let's go first off with the Arabians of Pendleton Heights. Daverick Black, 5'9", and a sophomore. He wears number 2. Damian Warham, 6'6", and a senior, number 32. Christian Jones, 6 foot and a senior, number 34. Ryan Noel, 6'3", and a senior, number 42. And Tristan Ross, 6'5", and a junior, number 54. So it's Black, Warham, Jones, Noel, and Ross. Kevin Bates, the head coach for the Arabians. Red Devils will have the same starting 5 they've had pretty much down the stretch. Andrew Croft, a 6'2 sophomore, number 1. He's played maybe as consistent as anybody for the Red Devils down the stretch. Jordan Stoley, 6'5", and a junior, number 3. Still a little bit bothered by that sore ankle. We'll see how he responds tonight. Kareem Jett, 5'7", and a junior. He wears number 4. Lucas Croft, they'll need a big night out of him. They'll need a big night every night if the Red Devils plan on winning the sectional. Every night they got to play 3 solid games beginning tonight. Lucas, 6'5", and a senior, number 10. And Jordan Fry, 6'5", and a senior. He wears number 24. Croft, Stoley, Jett, Lucas Croft, and Jordan Fry. Shabazz Khalik in his first year for the Red Devils at the helm. We will take a quick timeout. When we come back in just a couple of moments, we'll get the final thoughts downstairs and see what the prediction might be if the Red Devils plan on winning here tonight. That's coming up in just a couple of moments. This is sectional basketball right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
They're the 3 most sacred words a basketball fan can utter.
I was there.
Like tonight, the biggest crowd in high school basketball history traveled from every corner of the state just to see a baller named Damon Bailey.
And there is Damon Bailey now.
I was there.
And he is an honest-to-goodness folk hero.
When it's state tournament time here in Indiana, and they torch the nets and rain down threes from the rafters, it's so much more than a game. It's a rush. It's a thrill. It's the memory of a lifetime. But only if you're there. The IHSAA Boys Basketball Tournament. When the whistle blows, the drama unfolds, and we're reminded just how big a high school athlete's heart can be. Where will you be?
I'll be there.
The IHSAA Boys Basketball Tournament. Sectionals continue this weekend in Indiana high school gyms everywhere. The IHSAA Boys and Girls Basketball Tournaments are presented by the Indiana Pacers and the Indiana Fever.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We are back once again. Let's go downstairs. Brendan, I think the table is set. Both teams are ready to go. What's the key to this one here tonight?
Richmond is going to be, don't underestimate this new Pendleton team. They are a very good team, and, well, they're a pretty strong team, and especially when it comes to being under pressure. I was watching them downstairs, and they looked like they were very strong shooters. So big thing for Richmond is going to be stay on the attack defensively. Another thing for Richmond is going to be they cannot let up. They got to get hot. They got to get hot fast, and they've got to stay hot the entire game.
Yeah, the other thing is that Pendleton does have some size, and Richmond rebounding. They haven't always been strong rebounding this year.
Right, and our biggest rebounder is probably Lucas or Andrew, and like I said, you got to get more players involved all the way around. You got to get Raphael Dean in the picture. You got to get Jordan Stoley in the picture, Jordan Fry. All them guys have to come together tonight and make this really happen for the Red Devils.
All right, Brendan will be back with you sometime throughout the game. He'll keep observations on what is going on throughout the entire contest. We are almost ready to go. It is a solid 3 games. You have to have 3 very solid games. And after watching New Pal in that first game and knowing that Connorsville will be down a player, I tell you what, New Paltz played really well. Now, if you get past tonight, you got to think about a Mount Vernon team who is another team that may have a sub-500 record, but they're another team that I think their record is not indicative of how good they can be. So we will see. Can the Red Devils, though, take that back. Can they put 3 solid games together? Can they play 4 solid quarters in all 3 games? We're talking about 12 good, solid quarters of basketball. And we haven't seen that happen in a while, and the Red Devils are not happy with the way they finished things out, though they did beat Franklin County in that last game. There you see the Arabians. They will be in their traveling green uniforms. You tell you what, it's a program that has come away with some really good basketball players. I don't look at that 7-16 record, losing 6 of 7, as an indication of how tough they could be tonight if the Red Devils don't rebound and play well. So there it is again. It'll be Black, Warham, Jones, Noel, and Ross. There you see the Red Devils. Good student section with us here tonight. That's going to help. Good crowd here to see the Red Devils try to get a sectional championship since the induction of multi-class basketball. It's only happened twice. And the last time that the Red Devils got to a sectional championship and a regional, they ended up going to a semi-state down in Seymour, ended up losing, but that was quite a run. Joel Okafor, who is now a senior at Indiana Wesleyan, won a national championship last year. He was the driving force in that Red Devil run that year to the semi-state. So we will find out right now if Richmond's ready to go. Red Devils wanted to play tonight. They didn't want to have that much time off between the end of the season Thursday and perhaps not playing until Friday, so they really wanted to get this game in here tonight and not have the time off. Damian Warham will jump things up in the middle for the Arabians. Black, Warham, Jones, Noel, and Ross. 5 leading scorers, and I have a feeling they'll get most of the minutes here tonight. Warham against Jordan Fry, another key for the Red Devils. They cannot turn the basketball over and go into any scoring slumps. Tip is in the air. It'll be Pendleton Heights basketball. Daverick Black will be the point guard. Great quickness. Arabians will open up against a Red Devil man-to-man. Got to be patient here against this Red Devil defense. In the corner, three-pointer by Warham is off the mark. Long rebound by Jordan Fry. So now the Red Devils will get their first chance on offense, and the Arabians will open up in a man-to-man. One thing that we are a little surprised at times, unless a coach, maybe Kevin Bates, is a man-to-man type coach, does not like a zone. A lot of teams this year have zoned the Red Devils. First shot of the ball game will be missed. Kareem Jett missing, and high for the rebound. Big 54, Tristan Ross. Ross could be a force inside, another 6'5" post player. Arabians basketball. Jones off the screen. Will come near side to Warham. Lob pass inside. I think we have a reaching foul on Stoley. And so Stoley picks up the game's first foul, and that'll put the Arabians at the line. Ryan Noel averaging 6.8 points per game, and he will be at the free throw line for the first time here tonight. So the Arabians will get on the board first. Second free throw by Ryan Noel. Short on this one, and Fry had it tipped out of his hands, but run down by Andrew Croft. Red Devil basketball. Stoley between the circles. One dribble and gives it off now to Andrew. 6:40 to go here in the opening quarter. Lucas Croft guarded out there on the perimeter by Ross. So Ross will use his size to try to negate the outside shooting of Lucas Croft. Andrew on the drive and a foul call. Pendleton picks up their first foul, and this will go against number 34, Christian Jones. So Jones picks up number 1. 6:27 to go. Off the screen, Andrew stops at the free throw line, pivots, and once again back to Jet. Lucas will find Fry. Andrew thought about the three, pulls it down and puts it on the floor. Lucas on the shot fake, drives down the lane, layup good, and the Red Devils lead it 2-1. They'll need a lot of that tonight. Black across the timeline. Arabians' third time with the basketball. Off the screen out front, Jones. Here's a three on the way. That's good. There is Warham. You got to keep an eye on him. 13 points per game. Warham will give the Arabians a 2-point lead. Red Devil basketball, 5:39. Nice pass inside. Layup is good. And a foul call. Lucas Croft will head to the free throw line. Warham will pick up the foul. That'll be his first. And Lucas at the line. And the Red Devils lead at 5-4. This could be about as evenly matched of a game as we will see in this sectional. Entry pass underneath. Reverse layup, no good. The tip. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be off of Jordan Fry. The first shot was missed by Warham on the reverse layup. 5:24 to go. 5-4, Richmond leading it by 1. Black will inbound on the baseline. Nice pass inside. Left-hand layup good. Ryan Noel with the basket. We may go back and forth like this all night long. 6-5. Red Devils trail by 1. Andrew drives baseline, stolen by Black from behind. Fast break opportunity for Black, missed it, and a rebound, and Jordan Fry just picked up the foul. Red Devils committing their first turnover of the night. Fry's one of those players who gets into foul trouble, and when it happens, it generally happens pretty quick. Off the inbound. Three-pointer on the way. No good from the left wing. Tristan Ross unable to hit on the three-point attempt. Red Devils get the basketball back at 4:52 to go. Andrew. Shovel pass will find Lucas. His three on the way. No good. High for the rebound. Tristan Ross. And the Arabians back in the half court. Red Devils back in their man-to-man. 4:37 remaining now here in the opening period of play. Arabians basketball. Ross out front now to Jones. Jones will find Noel and back to Black near the midcourt line. Now would be considered a rather low-scoring opening quarter at this point as we're nearing the halfway mark of this opening period. 15-footer straight away, in and out, no good by Jones. Stoley with the rebound. And it'll be Red Devil basketball back the other way. And Richmond will set up in the half court as well. There is Kareem Jett. Stoley will need his outside shooting, needing to rebound tonight as well. They're looking for that backdoor cut, nothing there. Andrew from the top missed it badly. And the rebound by Damian Warham. Red Devils may be a little bit tight early in this one as they missed that shot, and generally you don't see Andrew miss that badly. Arabian basketball, good look here at Jones, driving down the lane. Jones missed the layup, and the long rebound pulled out of there by Kareem Jett. Lucas Croft will receive the basketball, back to Andrew. He'll drive in the lane, stops at the free throw line, back once again to Jett. And we're down to 3:20 to go here in the opening period of play. Fry will find Lucas. Lucas surveying what's available, nothing there. Fry will find Andrew Croft. Here's Jett, 3:09 to go. Red Devils down by 1. All 5 points scored by Lucas. He'll pull up and shoot and hit another one. So now Lucas with all 7 points for the Red Devils. It is now 7-6. Arabians basketball. So far, neither team going to their bench. Here's Black. Now we'll find Ross. And they'll reverse it back to Black on the right elbow. Lob pass inside. Left-hand layup good. Tough shot there by Ryan Noel. And the Arabians now lead at 8-7. Their inside game is probably going to have the edge in this one here tonight. So the Red Devils have to really play well underneath. Jet will find Fry, handing off now to Andrew Croft. Stoley on the left elbow. Now puts it on the floor twice and gives it up again to Jet. Here is Lucas sizing up his defender. Pull-up shot on the way, good. And right now it's all Lucas Croft. No one else has scored for the Red Devils. He has 9, and the Red Devils lead it by 1. Coach Kalik up off the bench there. You see at the bottom of your screen. Lucas on the defense. Shot way off the mark by Warham, and it'll be Red Devil basketball. Red Devil crowd wanted a foul call on Warham. Here's Lucas. Draws the double team, gets rid of it quickly now to Jet. Back to Fry at the top. 1:36 to go here in the opening quarter. Jet will drive, and a turnover by Richmond. Second turnover by the Red Devils. So now the Arabians with 90 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. That is Black across the timeline, guarded there by Kareem Jet. See if the Arabians are going to try to play for 1. They want this game, I'm sure, to be in the 50s. Jet will drive, left-hand layup, good. Take that back. That's Black on the basket going by Jet. 10-9. Pendleton with a 1-point lead. Black using the left hand off the backboard. Lucas will find Stoley for 3. Got it. Red Devils get their first 3 of the night. Stoley, the 6'5 junior. Now it's 12-10. Red Devils lead it by 2. This is Black across the timeline to Ross. Entry pass underneath. They'll try to use that size again. The hook by Warham, no good. Lucas coming away with it. Red Devils have a chance now to build on the 2-point lead. 25 seconds remaining here in this opening quarter. Andrew near midcourt, back once again to Lucas. Red Devils run that weave out front. Here's Jet with a crossover. Entry pass now to Stoley, and he traveled with it. So the Red Devils unable to execute with 9.9 seconds remaining in this opening period of play. So now Pendleton will get it perhaps the final time here in the first half. Black will be fouled, and that'll go against Jet. The Red Devils picking up their third team foul. 5.8 seconds remaining. So you see the Arabians will inbound. That is Ross. Still 5.8. Plenty of time on the clock to get a pretty good look right here. Here is Black. Black with 2 seconds. Fires up the shot, and that's going to do it for the opening period of play. After 1, Richmond on top of Pendleton. 12-10. This is sectional basketball right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
12-10 after 1. Brendan Evans, give me your thoughts on what you saw in that opening quarter.
Well, I saw a lot of positives, but I definitely saw a lot of negatives too. most of the points, the 12 points on the scoreboard, but most of them were from Lucas Croft. Now, it's good that they're producing points, but more people have to do it, or this is not going to work tonight. And they also have to step up on it defensively. They've done a great job so far. Lucas Croft has done a great job so far under the net. They need to produce more, and they need to get outside and protect that outside perimeter a little bit more.
All right, thank you very much. We'll check with him down on the sidelines. Once again, it'll be Red Devil basketball to open things up here in the second. Lucas take that back. Andrew driving. That'll be a jump ball, and that's a turnover by Richmond. The possession arrow coming back once again to the Arabians. So the Red Devils will have their 4th turnover. Coach Kalik was telling Andrew, jump stop in the lane, come set, then get rid of the basketball. So the Arabians with the basketball once again. Here's a shot from 3 off the screen, and burying that one is Christian Jones. Heck of a shot by Jones. His first 3 points, and the Red Devils trail it by 1. Andrew will reverse direction and find Fry on the right wing. In fact, the Red Devils will stay with their starters here in this second quarter. Coach Kalik probably take those minutes down from guys off the bench. Here's Lucas. Got it. That's a 2-point basket, and Lucas is on fire for the Red Devils here tonight. He now has 11 of the Red Devils' 14 points. Stoley with the 3. The only other points scored so far in this one. Back the other way. That 3's on the way. Good, as coming back is Warren for 3. Warren now with 6. That's the 3rd 3-pointer now for the Arabians. Fry at the top. Now we'll find Lucas. 6:29 to go in the second. Winner of this game will play Mount Vernon. Second game coming up on Friday. Here is Stoley for 3. Missed it, and the rebound. Maybe the shortest guy on the floor getting the rebound, Black, and the other way. A foul call as Jones will go to the line, and Jordan Fry just picked up his 2nd. We will see Raphael Dean come in. Raphael has played well down the stretch for Richmond. So Jones at the line now for the Arabians. So now Fry in foul trouble here in the second. First free throw no good by Jones. Also coming in for Richmond will be Jalen Hillard. So the Red Devils go to the bench for the first time tonight. Second free throw. Pendleton leads it now by 3. 4 points by Jones. Red Devil basketball. Raphael Dean in the high post, stolen away. 5th turnover by Richmond. Black with a layup at the other end, and the Red Devils have to take care of the basketball. Black just picking the pocket that time of Raphael Dean. Biggest lead of the ball game right now at 5 for either one of these two teams. Lucas Croft. Lucas finding his way between 2 defenders, will miss it and is fouled. So now Richmond with 5 turnovers. Ross will pick up the foul. That is only his first. And there you see Lucas Croft at the free throw line. Of course, how can you forget the way Lucas started this season, at one point hitting 41 straight. Then, of course, the injury up in Muncie sidelined him for a couple of games. Second free throw is missed, and the rebound by Ryan Noel. Noel at 6'3", but he's a strong player underneath. So Pendleton basketball, 5:29 to go. Noel gives it up. Actually, that's Warren with the basketball. Here's Black for 3. That's off the mark. And the rebound by Stoley. Andrew Croft, 16 feet away, fires and misses. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be Richmond basketball. Black the last to touch it there for the Red Devils. Raphael Dean battling for a loose ball. 5:14 to go in the second. Lucas inbounding. Stoley will find Hillard. Oh, he just got away with a walk right there. So now Richmond will set it up in the half court. Lucas will drive. Lucas with the left hand, no. Drew some contact. Noel with a rebound. And the Arabians with the basketball with a 4-point lead. Black the high screen from Noel. Good look here at Warham. Entry pass will find Ross, and we've got a foul. It may be Raphael Dean. The Richmond crowd did not like that call. So Raphael picks up number 1. That is team foul number 5. Inbound will find Warham. Warham turns, had it stripped out of his hands. It'll stay here, and Jalen Hillard able to get a hand on that one to stop the attempt there by Warham. And it'll be Arabian basketball. Good look at Ross off the inbound. Black very effective at the point guard tonight. Here's Black once again against Hillard. On the high post, Ross back to Black. Here is Warham for 3. Got it. Boy, he was way out there that time. Warham, his third three-pointer. The Red Devils down by 7 here in this second quarter. Here's Hillard back the other way. Missed it, and the rebound by Damian Warham. He averages nearly 6 rebounds per game. Halfway through the second quarter. Here is Warham, and a foul call against the Red Devils. That's going to go against Lucas Croft. 16 fouls now on the Red Devils. We're going to try to go downstairs here in a couple of moments. I know that sideline reporter is very close to Coach Kalik. I want to hear what he has to say. Nice turn inside in the block by, well, Noel was the one shooting, but it was Lucas Croft. Brandon, can you hear Coach Kalik and what he's saying to the official at this point?
I can hear a little bit of what Coach Kalik is saying, and he's just flat out not happy. He's very frustrated with the ref, and I heard him following the ref halfway down the court like, what are you doing? This is a sectional game. You need to get it together.
Basket good at the other end, as driving strong is Tristan Ross. And this right now is Pendleton's quarter. The Red Devils managing just 3 points, and we said the one thing they can't do is go into a scoring slump, and that's exactly what they've done. But they're going to call a travel against Richmond. 6 turnovers now by the Red Devils. And do we have a timeout? We do. Coach Kalik is not happy. We will take a timeout as well. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Red Devils trail this one by 9.
They're the 3 most sacred words a basketball fan can utter.
I was there.
Like the night the biggest crowd in high school basketball history traveled from every corner of the state just to see a baller named Damon Bailey.
And there is Damon Bailey now.
I was there.
And he is an honest-to-goodness folk hero.
When it's state tournament time here in Indiana, and they torch the nets and rain down threes from the rafters, it's so much more than a game. It's a rush. It's a thrill. It's the memory of a lifetime. But only if you're there. The IHSAA Boys Basketball Tournament. When the whistle blows, the drama unfolds, and we're reminded just how big a high school athlete's heart can be. Where will you be?
I'll be there.
The IHSAA Boys Basketball Tournament. Sectionals continue this weekend in Indiana high school gyms everywhere. The IHSAA Boys and Girls Basketball Tournaments are presented by the Indiana Pacers and the Indiana Fever.
Well, the Red Devils down by 9. They get their first time out of the night, and Pendleton will try to make it a double-digit game now here in the second. Warham falls to the floor. He was knocked down by Lucas, and I think right now the Arabians have stayed with their starting lineup. All 5 guys are still in the ball game. Red Devils going 2 off their bench. Here's Black now to the near side. 3 minutes remaining in the quarter. Good look at Ross. Ross setting that high screen. It'll be Noel looking. They're trying to post up Ross inside. Ross will turn, fire, and miss. Good defense there by Raphael Dean. So now the Red Devils back the other way. And a whistle and a foul. Andrew was set to drive. You're going to get Noel on the foul, and coming out of the ball game for the Red Devils, Hillard back in will be Jet. 2:39 remaining. Lucas, by the way, all but 3 points for the Red Devils here tonight. No one else has made a contribution. They got to get Andrew Croft going here tonight for sure. Raphael Dean out front. Here's Stoley. Stoley back to Lucas. He'll fire and in and out on the three. Dean fighting for the loose basketball. Last touched by Tristan Ross. So Richmond will inbound the basketball. Raphael will give it off to Jet. Off the screen. Here's Lucas driving down the lane. Good with the left hand. Lucas again. Now with 14 of the 17 points. Richmond just 5 in the quarter as we come up on 2 minutes remaining here in the first half of play. A little weave here for the Arabians. They try to get it inside. They're going to turn it over. That is just their second turnover of the first half. And the Red Devils see if they can capitalize. Here's Stoley. Jet down the lane. Left hand, no good. Ball tipped. It'll be Arabian basketball. Good job on the tip by Jones. So the Red Devils unable to capitalize a second straight time. Here is Black for three. That's no good. Battle for the rebound, and they're going to get Ross on his second. Good position underneath by Raphael Dean, and so we're going to see a change here. Christian Conkling, a 6'4 senior, will check into the ball game. Conkling averaging just 2.5 points per game, but he is 6'4". 1:19 remaining in the first half. Red Devils trying to extend their season to Friday. Mount Vernon awaiting the winner of this one. New Pal Artery advancing. That is Andrew Croft with the basketball, and you can see they're really forcing Richmond outside the three. Lucas drawing the double team, drives, misses, and the rebound by Warham. Here comes Black back the other way. 47 seconds to go. That is Warham. Boy, you dribble once right there, you're going to be in trouble. Richmond trying to pick up their defensive intensity, and Black will drive. Boy, I tell you, he's got some quickness. Daverick Black, just a sophomore. Coach not happy with his defense again. So Black at the line. This will be 2 shots, and he banked the first one. He now has 5. Second free throw. A little different shooting here than it would be at Pendleton. This gym a little bit bigger at 8,100 capacity, and again a very wide open area around the basket. You can see a lot of people behind the basket. 23 seconds to go. Red Devils again just 5 points in this quarter, all by Lucas Croft. Here's Stoley, and that'll be a hand check on Ryan Noel. He just picked up his second. 15.2, and into the ball game now, Walker Stull, 6-foot senior. See if Richmond, they did not capitalize at the end of the first quarter. Ended up getting a turnover. Let's see if they can make something positive right here. Off the inbound. Raphael Dean will score. There you go. Raphael getting his first 2 points. 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Black, Handing off now to Jones, hits the three. As time runs out in the first half, Christian Jones hits a big bucket right there, and we have made it to halftime. We will come back in just a couple of moments, talk about this first half. Pendleton 28, Richmond 19. This is sectional basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Greatest thing ever happened for Oscar Robertson. You learn to compete.
Basketball in Indiana has a special legacy. It starts with the coaches, develops with the fans, and ends with an amazing community support.
I think one of these days when you're done and you're retired and you kind of shelve that piece of your life, you can look back and be like, wow, that's really incredible.
To play in a state tournament, to be able to play in college, to be able to coach high school girls, and then to be able to see my son coach, basketball has been my life.
Any opportunity I got to play basketball, I played it. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I love doing, and still today I love the game.
And every time Dad put me in, I think as a freshman, sophomore, there was booing. And then the exciting turnaround that when I was a junior and senior, every time he took me out, he got booed. So those were fun times.
Basketball got me an education. Got me to be a worldly person as far as reading articles. Got me to be artistic and understand the cultures of the world, the ballet, the opera. It just opened up your whole mind and thoughts about things other than what you can reach out and touch.
Because I never dreamed of going to college, and basketball gave me the opportunity to not only go to college but play professional ball, and I've been around it my whole life. I'm 58 now, and I've been involved for a lot of years.
Where else can you walk around? I'm a 65-year-old man, and people say, George, oh, I remember you in '69 with your high school state championship team. I saw you at Butler. I mean, it's incredible. This is the only place here in Indiana that happens.
Okay, listen up. What's the one thing Hoosiers like more than race cars? More than tenderloin sandwiches? I'll tell you, basketball. But not just any brand of basketball. I'm talking about the IHSAA. I'm talking about Indiana high school basketball. This right here is pure basketball. No theatrics, no gimmicks, no hot shots. This is a fundamentals first, team-based, hustle and get after it brand of hoops. This is real deal basketball for real deal basketball fans like you. This is your chance to see the greatest game ever played in its purest form. The IHSAA boys basketball sectionals continue this weekend in gyms across the state. Tickets are only $6. The chance to experience Hoosier hysteria live and in person only comes once a year. Don't miss it. The IHSAA boys basketball tournament is proudly presented by the Indiana Pacers and the Indiana Fever.
We are back at the Tiernan Center, and the Red Devils trail at 28-19 thanks to that big three by Christian Jones as time runs out in the first half. The Red Devils, by the way, only 7 points again in that second quarter. The big story probably this one is the brothers Croft. One has 14. That is Lucas. The other one, Andrew, did not score in the first half of play. Brandon, let's talk about the first half, and some of the things that we feared did happen, and one of those is the Red Devils scored just 7 points in that quarter, and we said the one thing they can't do is going a scoring drought, and that's exactly what happened.
Right, and the scoring drought is exactly as you said. I think they gave up only scored 7 points, sorry. And that just can't happen. This is a team that you need to stay on top of. This is a team that you cannot trail by 9 points. They need to stay disciplined, and a lot of that just came from blown coverage. Yeah, you need to be instinctual, but you need to follow you need to be more disciplined. There's a far line between completely instinctual and completely disciplined, and you need to find that happy middle.
You know,
Another thing is that Richmond just needs to settle down, and they need to stay to themselves. A lot of the blown calls from the referee is why they're down, but that can't be a full excuse, and that they have to realize that there needs to be something else there to help them out.
Well, you know what? In officiating, let's just be bluntly honest about it, it goes both ways. It does even out somewhere, and I think we'll see that. I don't know there are that many bad calls. Here's the factor. This is the true factor. Andrew Croft, 0. Kareem Jett, 0. Jalen Hillard, 0. Jordan Fry, 0. You can't have all those guys who you have seen this year at some point get in double figures or close to double figures, but you can't have them disappear at tournament time when you need them the most. And right now, Lucas Croft is the only scoring option you have going on right now. My question is, when are these other guys going to step up?
Right, and these other guys do need to step up, as you said. The question is just when. I'm sure Coach is in there in the locker room telling them, hey, this needs to stop, and this needs to stop now, or else their season's going to be over at the end of the night.
Well, that's just it. I mean, there is no tomorrow. You can't, as a player, you can't say, well, you could have done this in December. You could do this in January. You can do it in February. But this is now tournament time, and you can't say, I'll wait till tomorrow. There's got to be a sense of urgency, and they've got to do it now. And I don't see that in a couple of these players right now.
Right, and I think maybe a couple of their energy guys, Raphael Dean, he needs to bring more energy out to the court, lighten up.
Well, I thought he was fine. I'm talking about the 4 guys I just mentioned, and we're talking about 2 of those guys. Well, see, Fry's a senior. We talked 3 guys that are coming back for next year, and I think you would need to show a little bit more in this. They better show something pretty quick, or this game's going to be over.
Right, and they have to pick it up, like you said, but a big thing is everyone has to share the load. It just can't be Lucas, and it just can't be Andrew, like I said, but a lot of them guys are in 0-point figures, as you just said a moment ago, and they're going to all have to pick it up, or their season's going to be over.
Well, tell you what, we'll take a timeout. You hang tight right there. We're going to come back in a couple of moments. The second half is right around the corner. Can the Red Devils respond? We will find out in just a moment right here, Radio Troy Digital Sports.
They're the 3 most sacred words a basketball fan can utter.
I was there.
Like tonight, the biggest crowd in high school basketball history traveled from every corner of the state just to see a baller named Damon Bailey.
And there is Damon Bailey now.
I was there.
And he is an honest-to-goodness folk hero.
When it's state tournament time here in Indiana, and they torch the nets and rain down threes from the rafters, it's so much more than a game. It's a rush. It's a thrill. It's the memory of a lifetime. But only if you're there. The IHSAA Boys Basketball Tournament. When the whistle blows, the drama unfolds, and we're reminded just how big a high school athlete's heart can be. Where will you be?
I'll be there.
The IHSAA Boys Basketball Tournament. Sectionals continue this weekend in Indiana high school gyms everywhere. The IHSAA Boys and Girls Basketball Tournaments are presented by the Indiana Pacers and the Indiana Fever.
Okay, listen up. What's the one thing Hoosiers like more than race cars? More than tenderloin sandwiches? I'll tell you, basketball. But not just any brand of basketball. I'm talking about the IHSAA. I'm talking about Indiana high school basketball. This right here is pure basketball. No theatrics, no gimmicks, no hot shots. This is a fundamentals first, team-based, hustle and get after it brand of hoops. This is real deal basketball for real deal basketball fans like you. This is your chance to see the greatest game ever played in its purest form. The IHSAA Boys Basketball Sectionals continue this weekend in gyms across the state. Tickets are only $6. The chance to experience Hoosier hysteria live and in person only comes once a year. Don't miss it. The IHSAA Boys Basketball Tournament is proudly presented by the Indiana Pacers and the Indiana Fever.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. high school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, back here at the Tiernan Center, ready for the third quarter now. Richmond, they're back against the wall, trailing at 28-19, again after scoring just 7 points in that second quarter. Who is going to step up? Will it be Andrew Croft? Will it be Kareem Jett? Will it be Hillard? Will it be Fry? Who's it going to be other than Lucas Croft? Raphael Dean has 2, Stoley with the other 3 points for the Red Devils. Richmond basketball to begin this quarter. Stoley on the right wing. Here's Lucas. Driving, contact against Black. Pull-up shot no good. And the rebound, Red Devils 0 for in that opening possession as Noel gets the rebound, and now the Arabians will look to go up into double figures. Entry pass, they're going to go after Fry right away, and a jump ball. It'll stay here. Well, I'll tell you what, if Ross will turn to the inside, give that guy a head fake, and then step in and under, might have a chance to score, but you don't see enough players give a really good head fake anymore. Off the inbound, here's Warham. Black guarded by Kareem Jett. Black driving and lost it. Turnover number 3 on the Arabians. Red Devil basketball. See if Richmond can get this offense going on their home floor here in the sectional. Fry reversing it to Andrew. Looked inside to Lucas. Back again to Jett. Red Devils again work it with a minute remaining, or I should say a minute gone in the quarter. Jett will stop. Richmond having a hard time just getting a good look right here. Here's Lucas. In triple threat, bouncing now to Fry. Fry guarded out front by Jones. Here's Stoley. Richmond now a minute in possession right now, and they haven't done anything so far, even a shot, and that's a travel. Boy, Fry can argue his case all he wants, but that's an easy call. Either shoot it or don't. So now the Red Devils, 2 possessions in the quarter, and so far nothing. Arabian basketball. Little give and go. Layup good by Warham. And the Red Devils down by 11. Andrew. So far scoreless. Jett still scoreless. Got to get these 2 guys going. They're going to key on Lucas the rest of the night. Here's Andrew off the drive and a foul call. That may be number 3 on Ross. So that's good news for Richmond. So Ross just picked up his 3rd. Again, Pendleton's not a deep basketball team. We only saw a couple of guys come off their bench in that second quarter. And they got him again. So Ross just picked up his 4th. And Pendleton will come back, Walker Stull. So they're going to go shorter, but the good news for the Red Devils is chance now to even things up perhaps in the rebounding side. Stull at 6 foot. He'll be guarding Jett. So the Arabians will make the change. That means you're looking right there at 34 Jones covering Lucas Croft. 5:47. Red Devils have had 2 shots in the quarter. Jett. Here's Stoley. He bypasses a shot attempt. Now it's Fry, and he hits it this time. Well, this time he didn't wait. Fry gets the 3. And the Red Devils back to within 8. Arabian basketball. Here's Stull at the left elbow. Black near the midcourt circle. Once again, here's Jones, and he loses it. Turnover, Pendleton, their 4th. Red Devils back the other way. Fry will score, and the Red Devils now to within 6. Fry back-to-back baskets. He now has 5. Under 5 minutes remaining here in the third. Red Devils were down by 11 just moments ago. Black, they will not start the count yet. Now it starts, but he gets rid of the basketball. Walker Stoll averaging only 1 point per game. They eliminate Ross, averaging nearly 10 per game, and there's a bad pass. That was Noel. Red Devils now 5 turnovers by the Arabians. Here is Stoll. He can't get it to go. Black with a rebound. Well, that would have been huge right there for Richmond. The momentum perhaps right back in Richmond's favor. And offensive foul as Stoll loses his shoe. That'll be Noel's third. 4:15 remaining, and the Red Devils have a chance now to close the gap inside 3 possessions. Actually, 2 if you talk about 2 3-pointers. Halfway through the third quarter. Fry at the high post. They were looking for that lob inside, guarded well there by the Arabians. Lucas pull-up jumper, no good. And we're going to have a foul called against the Arabians, and Noel just picked up his 4th. So Noel is out, Ross is out, and here's where you got to take advantage. Conkling will come in. 2 starters now down, 2 bigs. A combined, well, that's going to go against the Red Devils. Moving screen there on Stoll. Boy, right when you thought maybe you could take advantage of it, you commit that turnover. You're talking about Noel, 7 points per game. Ross at nearly 10. That's 17 points out of the ball game in the lineup right now for the Arabians. Here's a 3 on the way. That's no good by Warham. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Red Devil basketball. Hillard coming in. So Hillard will step into the lineup, and coming out will be Stoll. So Richmond's going a little bit smaller in their lineup as well. 3:34 to go here in the second. Hillard, and we've got another moving screen. This time they're going to get Kareem Jett. 2 in a row against the Red Devils. That's 2 more turnovers. And it appears the Arabians are going to call a quick timeout. This will be a full timeout. Brendan, let's go downstairs real quick. Brendan, 2 moving screens back to back. And again, when you have a couple of their bigs out of the lineup, the one thing you've got to do at that time is take advantage of that, and yet the Red Devils turned it over 2 times.
Well, first off, good news for the Red Devil. They brought it to within 6. Which that was pretty scary at the end of the half. They were down by a pretty good amount of points, but like you said, they do have to take advantage of that. They have to get in the paint, and they have to rebound a little bit more. At least you'd think they'd try to get a couple more guys down there to pick up a few of those rebounds. But I think they've turned it around for the good so far tonight.
All right, so Brendan Evans downstairs. It'll be Arabian basketball following the timeout. Arabians, by the way, have only scored 2 points in this quarter. The Red Devils have scored 5. So now we're officially again in a very low-scoring quarter and a very low-scoring ball game. And right now the Arabians are trying to hold on so they can get Ross and Noel back. Here's Black. He will drive, contact, missed the layup. Fry with a rebound, and then the Red Devils throw it away. Oh, my. Ten turnovers now by Richmond, and none worse than that one. Clear, fast break opportunity, and you throw it away. Now 3 possessions where the Red Devils had point opportunities, and they will not come away with any points in those 3 possessions. I'll tell you what, that's a great play. Slip screen by Jones, and Richmond's defense somebody got mixed up and didn't go on the slip. So now the Red Devils back down by 6. This thing will be lucky if we get it into the 50s. Red Devil basketball. Hillard to Fry. They're going to lob underneath, and the layup good. They saw it coming, couldn't stop it anyway. 16 now by Lucas Croft. You can hear their head coach, Kevin Bates, yelling lob, and yet the Red Devils able to execute. Here's Black, and Fry nearly coming up with a turnover. Run down there by Conkling. 1:57 to go. And again, the Arabians missing 2 key parts in their lineup. Conkling, the drive down the lane, the kick by Stahl, and a travel by Black. Well, at times, both teams looking very discombobulated. So it'll be Red Devil basketball. 4 points in the quarter by the Arabians, 7 points by Richmond. Jet will drive and score, down to a 4-point lead. And Jet finally on the board. 32-28, minute 26 to go. Not pretty, but the idea is just to win in advance, no matter how you get it done. Stahl now will find Warren. Warren will drive down the lane with the right hand. Good, Warren. That's a tough shot. And they're going to need him to keep continuing to play on the offensive end if they plan on winning. He's now matched his season average of 13. And the Red Devils back down by 6. Fry, one dribble off the high post. Here's Lucas, back to Jet. Fry will drive. Andrew now looking, will nearly turn it over, does. Turnover, Red Devils. Black back the other way, and we've got a foul by Hillard. 2-shot foul now for Daverick Black. Red Devils now with 11 turnovers. So Black at the line. 1 for 2, now make it 1 for 3. One more here for Black. That one bounces high, missed that one as well. Andrew Croft with a rebound, 37 seconds remaining. Winner of this will get Mount Vernon again coming up on Friday. They're trying to get it to Lucas, almost a steal by Black. Lucas will drive, reverse layup, no. Gets the rebound, put back, yes. Lucas now with 18 points, and the Red Devils trail it by 4. Richmond had an 11-point lead. They have held the Arabians to just 6 in this quarter. Off the screen, Black, three-pointer the way. That one's no good. Tipped up and good by Jones at the buzzer. The second time Jones has beaten the buzzer. Had a 3 at the end of the first half. Picks up a big tip-in bucket right there. We will head now to the fourth quarter. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Red Devils trail it by 6.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back here, a low-scoring game, 36-30. Brendan Evans downstairs. The Red Devils, by the way, bitten by the last-second bug for the second time tonight, and the second time by Christian Jones. Now it is crunch time. It all matters right here.
Right, and Troy, what was really good about that is they're down within 6 again, and that really takes some pressure off, I guess you could say. But like you said, it's crunch time, so it kind of counteracts that pressure that just got taken off. They need to really push it. They really need to get inside. But the good thing is a lot of them guys you mentioned in the halftime, they've all picked up points or big assists. Like Andrew and all of them, I think they did great in that third quarter.
Nice backdoor cut. Andrew scores, and the Red Devils have now closed to within 4 again. Andrew getting his first 2 points of the ball game. Now the question is, will the Red Devils have enough? And I'm talking about they had opportunities to take the lead perhaps in that third quarter with 2 of the big guys out, Ross and Noel, and they still couldn't regain the lead. The drive down the lane, and it's going to go out of bounds off the drive by Christian Jones. Red Devil crowd wanted a traveling call. Pendleton crowd wanted a foul call. Off the inbound Warren, back to Jones, and he's going to get fouled by Andrew. It's going to be a 3-shot foul. That's tough right there for Andrew. It has not been the typical Andrew Croft night we've been used to down the stretch. So now at the line, Christian Jones for 3. Back to a 5-point lead. Boy, that's always tough when you foul a shooter from 3-point range. What would have made it worse is certainly if he makes it, it'd been a chance for a 4-point play, but a chance now for 3, and Jones hits all 3. He's having a solid night. 14 points by Jones, back to a 7-point lead. Off the screen, Andrew. Lucas setting that screen, was going to release, now to be Hillard. Hillard, nothing there, back to Fry, and now to be Lucas. Lucas 14 in the first half, 4 in the quarter, and a blocking foul will be called before the shot. That'll go against Warham. That is his second. Now the question is, how long will Pendleton go with Ross and Noel on the bench? I say if they can get it to the 5.5-minute mark, we'll see them back in. Fry could have had a shot right there, a much smaller black on him, and he bypassed the shot. Hillard will drive and gets his shot blocked by Jones. Now the other idea is you could bring in Ross at one point and let him play and see how long he goes, and then if he fouls out, you get Noel in so you could split the minutes. Boy, Jet was left open on the right wing and for whatever reason did not shoot it. Here's Lucas, straight away, shot good. Red Devils back to within 5. Lucas now with 20. 39-34. 6:28 to go in the fourth. Pendleton basketball. Black will find Warham. He'll drive and will not score, in a late whistle. That'll go against Lucas Croft, and the Red Devil crowd, they don't like that call at all. I don't think maybe because it was a foul perhaps, but because the whistle came so late. Warham will go to the free throw line. Stoley coming back in for Richmond. Hillard will sit down. Second free throw now by Warham. Back to a 6-point lead. That is Stoley out front, just into the ball game, and that'll be Andrew. They're going to clear things out. Lucas coming to the right side. Andrew trying to find an opening, can't do so against Jones. Pendleton holding on without Ross and Noel. Lucas will find Fry. Here's Jet. He is short, tipped up by Lucas. Ball loose in the corner, run down by Warham, and timeout by Pendleton. 5:50 remaining here in this quarter. This is going to be a 30-second timeout. Let's go back downstairs, and I know you look at that last call at the other end of the floor. And I think most people were probably not upset that it was a foul, but the whistle was so late, that's where people got upset.
Yeah, the ball went up and it bounced off the goal, and it was a good foot and a half before they even blew the whistle. And I couldn't believe the call myself, honestly. I'm surprised there wasn't a foul, but I couldn't believe that they called it that late.
All right, of course, we'll be joining Brendan a little bit later. We still have 5:50 remaining here in this fourth quarter, and a whole lot of things can happen. 6-point lead. Red Devils now showing a little 1-2-2 zone trap. We have seen this. It has been good for them. Stoley at the top of that trap. Warham will get it in the right corner now to Conkling, and Pendleton will set it back to the top. 5.5. Here's about the time I thought we would perhaps see Ross as they go inside. Blocked underneath by Andrew Croft. Here's Lucas back the other way. Three-pointer good. It is a three-point ball game. 23 now by Lucas. I'm still wondering why we haven't seen Ross and Noel. Got to get one of those guys in. Here's a drive down the lane. Basket good by Warham, and he's fouled. The Arabians come right back and answer the call at the other end of the floor. Foul's going to be called against Fry. That's going to be his third. One thing I think they are letting these guys do tonight, they are letting them play a little bit. It's a little more physical in tournament play. Free throws missed. Well, they've missed some big free throws. Still a 5-point lead, Red Devil basketball. Stoley nearly walked with it. Andrew to Lucas. Lucas one-on-one against Warham. Lucas draws that double team again. Fry the shot fake back to Andrew. It'll be Jet. Stoley on the right elbow. Stoley looking for the opening. Stops back to Jet. 4:37 to go. Here's Stoley driving down the lane. Stoley will go to the line. Kevin Bates, right now the head coach for the Arabians, he must be waiting till about halfway through the quarter to get his two bigs in, Ross and Noel. Stoley at the line, 3 points. This is his first trip to the free throw line tonight. So here they come. Well, I was off by a minute. Back in Noel, Ross back in as well, and the Arabians have to feel pretty good that they held on to that lead when Ross and Noel got into foul trouble in the third quarter, and they still held on to a 5-point lead. Red Devils are going to get a timeout right here. 30-second timeout. We'll take a quick break as well. Red Devils trail it by 4.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
4:34 remaining. The loser is done. The winner will advance to Friday night. So it's all on the line here in the last 4.5 minutes. Brendan Evans downstairs. Troy Darengowski, great to have you with us for high school basketball. Red Devils in that zone trap. We mentioned that Ross and Noel back in. Turnover. Andrew driving, and he misses. That could be a basket interference, but I think the official on the backside said no. Black's going to pick up the foul. That is the 7th team foul. Andrew's going to go to the line. Red Devils want a basket interference right there. It looked like somebody might have touched that ball around the rim. Richmond scratching and fighting here in the fourth quarter, trying to get a sectional win and advance to Friday. Second free throw is missed, and the rebound Warham. Red Devils will trap. Black down the line will find Jones near steal. Baseline shot short. Christian Jones way short. Red Devils have a chance to tie right here. Stoley. Andrew. Three-pointer. Yes! Richmond down by 11. They've come back to tie the ball game here in the fourth quarter. Here come the Arabians. Ross cut off on the baseline. They'll have to work it back outside. That was a travel, no whistle, and driving is Warham. He'll go to the line for two. .336 remaining. Foul's going to be called on Fry. That's his fourth. Big free throws right here for Warham. He has missed 3 free throws. The Arabians have missed 5 in the second half. They have missed 8 free throws overall. He will get 1 of 2, and it is back now to a 1-point ball game. Andrew may have gotten up a little bit late, but at least he's up now. 6 points in the fourth quarter. Coach Kalik talking to the near side official, maybe getting an influence here late. Andrew for 3, no. Fry, no. Rebound, Arabians. That was Ryan Noel. When you have somebody Noel's size, you know why you need him on the floor. But since they've been in the lineup, the Red Devils have stepped up their game. Good look at Jones. Entry pass down in the low block. Warren back to Jones. He will feed it off, and a turnover by the Arabians. Noel was expecting Jones to shoot the basketball, and Jones probably would have had a clear layup. Red Devils a chance now to take the lead. Down by 1 here in the fourth quarter. Jett will just walk it across the timeline. Stoley will find Fry. They're going to try to lob it again. They won't get it this time. Here is Andrew. No. Had a good look, and it goes out of bounds. It will be Arabian basketball. 2:30 to go. I'll tell you what, I think Andrew would have hit that shot if he were shooting well early. But he probably thought about it right there coming off that screen. It hasn't been his best night. But he has made a contribution here in the fourth quarter. There's that zone trap in and out of the hands for a moment. Ross. Now things get your palms get a little sweatier. Here's Black. Will the Arabians try to hold? I'm not sure they can. They only have 7 turnovers in my book, but it's awful hard to hold it for 2 minutes. Warham. Now we'll find Jones and a travel. See, I told you, they just in a little bit of a position there where everybody seemed to be just uncomfortable. So now the Red Devils get it back again, 1:56. I wouldn't think that Richmond could hold it for 2 minutes. So now it'll be Red Devil basketball. Here's Lucas. Croft on the drive. Boy, he may have walked with it. We're going to get the benefit of a foul right there. Lucas will go to the line. So Noel fouls out with just 5 points. So one of their bigs done for the night. Back in the ball game will be Christian Conkling. Pendleton will call a timeout. This time a full. We'll be back. This is Sectional Basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
They're the 3 most sacred words a basketball fan can utter.
I was there.
Like tonight, the biggest crowd in high school basketball history traveled from every corner of the state just to see a baller named Damon Bailey.
And there is Damon Bailey now.
I was there.
And he is an honest-to-goodness folk hero.
When it's state tournament time here in Indiana, and they torch the nets and rain down threes from the rafters, it's so much more than a game. It's a rush. It's a thrill. It's the memory of a lifetime. But only if you're there. The IHSAA Boys Basketball Tournament. When the whistle blows, the drama unfolds, and we're reminded just how big a high school athlete's heart can be. Where will you be?
I'll be there.
The IHSAA Boys Basketball Tournament. Sectionals continue this weekend in Indiana high school gyms everywhere. The IHSAA Boys and Girls Basketball Tournaments are presented by the Indiana Pacers and the Indiana Fever.
By the way, we know that Northeastern has advanced. By the way, the Seton Cardinals, they lose tonight to Randolph Southern. At the line, Lucas Croft. Lucas now 24. Red Devils tied the ball game, and so the Cardinals will see their sectional streak come to an end at 5. Second free throw no good, but Cardinals played without several players. They were suspended for tonight's game for breaking team rules, so those seniors will not get a chance. There's a 10-second call and a turnover. Black waited too long to get across the timeline. 1:28 remaining. So now the Red Devils have a chance here to take the lead. Winner gets Mount Vernon Friday night. Stoley back to Andrew. Now it'll be Jet. Now Lucas. Lucas at the top. Looking to get the screen. He does so. Lucas on the drive. Lucas scores. (26) by Lucas. Red Devils lead it by 2. Under a minute to go. Warham is going to get fouled by Andrew Croft. That may not be a bad foul simply because Warham has not shot the free throw great here in the fourth quarter. Looks like we will have a 30-second timeout, or is this a full timeout? Looks like it'll be a full. Go downstairs once again. Brendan Evans checking things out on the sidelines. And, you know, the one thing, there's two factors in this game I look at right now. One of them is that Richmond able to come back with their two bigs on the floor after they got into foul trouble. But now the Red Devils have a chance here in the fourth quarter to pick up a win, and they have not played well tonight.
Right, and Troy, you're right. They have not played well tonight, but they've seemed to turn it around in this fourth quarter and somewhat in the third. As you mentioned foul trouble a little bit, I believe Jordan Fry still playing with 4 fouls, so they have to be a little bit more disciplined. And right here with 55.8 seconds left, you got to hustle, but don't hurry.
All right, so there you have it. Red Devils 55.8. See what transpires out of that timeout. Back to the free throw line. We mentioned Warham has not shot it well from the line, but he does hit that front end of the one in bonus. Chance to tie right here. That timeout, I want to see what Richmond's going to put together. I think you'd go back to Lucas because the Arabians have had a really tough time stopping him tonight. Now Warham hits those 2 big free throws. 51 seconds remaining. Here the crowd on both sides. Pendleton on their feet. Richmond student section on their feet. Red Devils basketball. Can they execute something here in the final 32 seconds? Here's Jet. and Richmond had to get a timeout. They were very close to getting a 5-second call. So the Red Devils call a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. For the Red Devils, Lucas Croft, 26 points tonight. Fry with 5, 2 by Raphael Dean. Kareem Jett with 2, Stoley with 3, 6 by Andrew Croft. 2, 4, 6, 10, 19 points by Warham. 14 points by Jones. Those are the 2 leading scorers tonight for Pendleton. .8 seconds. So now Richmond on the inbound. Stoley looked, nothing there, so he wisely puts it in the back court. Here's Jett. Jett against Black. 21 seconds to go. Screen by Fry. Here is Andrew. 15 seconds to go. Andrew on the drive. Stops. Back to Lucas. May have traveled with it. Lucas, yes! Warren picks up number 3, and the Red Devils with 9.1. And a timeout on the floor by Pendleton. This is a 30-second timeout. Or is it going to be? They're going to call it a 1-minute timeout. We remind you again that New Pal won earlier tonight. They beat Greenfield Central 60-45. They will play Connorsville on Friday night at 6. The winner of this game will play Mount Vernon on Friday night. That is a 7:30 scheduled tip-off time. But how about Lucas tonight? Lucas, 28 points. Chance now to give Richmond a 3-point lead with 9.1 seconds to go. We will have post-game reaction a little bit later. There you see Lucas at the free throw line. Big free throw right here. Do not want to give the Arabians a chance to tie this ball game or maybe hit a 3 and walk out of here with a win. He missed it. Rebound by Conkling. Arabians with 6 seconds to go. Off the screen, and we've got a timeout now by the Arabians. Well, I'm not sure about you from your vantage point downstairs, but it certainly looked like to me with the shot there, Christian Jones, I thought he was going to get a pretty good look from 3.
Yeah, Lucas Croft, really the person you want to be at your free throw line in a situation like that. But unfortunately, it just couldn't go down. I know a lot of people were expecting that offensive foul right there before the coach called the timeout. And if he would have called that offensive foul, the game would have been all but over.
All right, so 3.3 to go. Now we see what strategy that the Arabians will go for here. I would think at home, again, well, on the road, and this is a road contest now for the Arabians. I think you go for the tie. You try to get it into overtime. It will be inbounded on the far side away from the Pendleton bench. And now Richmond calls the timeout. They wanted to see perhaps what the setup was going to be. This will be a full timeout on this one, so the Red Devils get a chance to talk about it a little bit more. As we said earlier, we know that the Arabians have been through a lot of close games this year. Their margin of losing is not much. It's under 4, I believe, or around the 4 mark. But down the stretch, though, they've lost some tough ones. There you see Coach Kalik. Final instructions to his ball club. Boy, the Arabians only 1 basket in the fourth quarter. That was the warm basket. Everything else, free throws. We have seen that on Richmond's side before. 3.3 to go. Inbound again at the same location. Nothing changes there. Arabians will have to work quick. And they turn it over. 5-second call. Before the timeout. How big is that right there? Coming out of the ball game, Conkling, who couldn't get it in and couldn't get the timeout. .3 as Stoley will inbound. Once it gets in, a foul will happen immediately. And Richmond able to get it in play. There is a foul call. That is not time, though. Pendleton's bench better be careful. Somebody's going to get a technical if they're not careful right here. So let's see how much time they'll put back on the clock. One of the assistant coaches for the Arabians went a little bit ballistic, and that's what got him the look. Stoll picks up the foul. There's no time on the clock. There can't be much more than I think. There can't be even 2 seconds remaining. So let's see what they'll put it at. It is a 1 and bonus. Unless they have 10. They might have 10 on the board. Well, they gave him .7. That still would be awful tough. Well, now they say on the board it's 10 team fouls. The official said it's still 1 and 1. Now it's 2. There you go. So Andrew at the line. .7 to go, and that's a 3-point lead. There's really nothing now that Pendleton can do. So Richmond will overcome an 11-point lead and pick up a win here tonight. It would take a miracle to get this one in. Second one will be missed on purpose, and that's it. So Richmond overcoming a tough one here tonight. Just from an overall standpoint, they do get the win, 48-45. We'll come back and wrap it up in a moment. This is sectional basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Name of the game is Survive and Advance, and that's what the Red Devils have been able to do tonight. They have survived, and they will now move on to the semifinals on Friday night. They win at 48-45. Lucas Croft, 28, leading the way for the Red Devils. So Richmond again picks up the sectional victory here tonight, 48-45. On the other side, it will be New Pal and Connorsville. That'll be a 6 o'clock tip-off. Ours will be at 7:30. Thanks for being with us. Your final score, Richmond 48, Pendleton Heights 45. We'll see you Friday right here in Radio Troy Digital Sports.